guys, what is going on? Blossom is back, and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives, and welcome back to RQ10-100 of the best possible cars in every RQ for a certain track set. Today I want to tackle what I believe is the biggest mess of the track set, and I gotta say the results are as messy as the track set itself. So please take this video with a grain of salt. I tried my best to get every time that I could on Top Drives records, but let me explain. First of all, the track in question is Ocean Beach Slalom, also known as Ocean Bitch Slalom, as I like to call it. Now, there are two variations, the dry variation and the wet variation. The wet variation is what we're going to be talking about today because that one is a pure mess. I wish I could show you Ocean Beach Slalom. It was in clubs yesterday. Unfortunately, when I wanted to record the video, California Storm was not in clubs anymore, so I can't show it to you. But essentially, if you know what Ocean Beach Slalom is, it's not in the campaign, and it shows up, from time to time in multiplayer events and in clubs. Basically, it's a regular slalom. Think about wet asphalt slalom. So that's how it begins. It begins as wet asphalt slalom in the rain, right? So immediately off-road tire cars already put it at a disadvantage. That's the first half of the track set. Then the second half of the track set, it just becomes like a drag, but it's like a drag in the wet because it's raining and the surface is sand. It's a mess. It is such a mess. But honestly, when you get the hang of it, when you understand what are the cars that win it, maybe it might make more sense to you. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. So as always, from RQ10-100, I'm going through the best car for every RQ on Ocean Beach Slalom. Starting off RQ10 is the Alfa Romeo Spider S3 with a time of 1 minute 16 seconds and 80 centiseconds. The Alfa S3 is the best. However, like I said, take everything with a grain of salt because for RQ11, you wouldn't believe it, the best car is the BMW Isetta. Now, I think anyone that has a brain cell will know that there's something wrong when the BMW Isetta is the best. Let me show you the photo on Top Drives Records. As you can see, it is, yes, by fact, on the website, the BMW Isetta is the best car. That being said, there are not a lot of times for RQ11 cars on this track set, so I'll show you another photo right here. Those are all the RQ11s that have not even been recorded on this track set. So take the entire rarity of commons with a grain of salt. Not a lot of people have put in the Ocean Beach Slalom wet times for a lot of commons in the game. So the times and the results are not completely accurate. I mean, to be honest, the website says that the best car is the Isetta 250. That might change after you watch this video. But we all know that isn't going to be the case. So later on in the video, when we get to the higher rarities, when I see any discrepancies, I will try and put in my own kind of logic to it as well. RQ12 is next, and it's the Pontiac Tempest, and the best car for the Ocean Beach Slalom at 3:32 with a time of 1 minute 14 seconds and 26 centiseconds. Again, I'm annotating this as taking it with a grain of salt. Not every RQ12 car has been recorded, so that may not be the best car, but it is the best car according to the website. RQ13 belongs to the Pontiac Firebird performance tire cars, so that's also very interesting. I'm telling you, man, the common meta is just the biggest pain in the butt, and clearly not a lot of people are willing to even put in the times because it's just not worth the effort. RQ14, according to the website, the best car is the Volvo 262C Solaire at 1 minute 14 seconds and 26 centiseconds. The Volvo 262C is the best car there. Now, I do promise you that the times will get a little bit more accurate when we get into rares and above. When we get to rares and epics, rares to epics, the winners are pretty accurate, I would say. But uncommons, legendaries, and commons, take it with a heaping grain of salt, please. Now, moving on to RQ15, the best car, according to Top Drives Records, belongs to the Honda Prelude with a time of 1 minute and 11 seconds and 75 centiseconds. Let's see if I can look for that car real quick. There it is, at 323. RQ16 is the same story. We're staying within that manufacturer of Honda, and the best car is going to go to the Honda Odyssey. There it is, is the 2.3 of a time of 1:11.75, tied with the Prelude. Moving on to RQ17, the best car is going to go to the Jaguar XK140. So currently we're sitting, yeah, there it is, the XK140 of a time of 1:15.51 at an upgrade pattern of 323. Now, moving on to RQ18, as with all common times that are listed for Ocean Beach Slalom Wet right now, the MG MGB is rated as the best car for the entire track set, beating out what RQ19 has to offer. Coming in at a time of 1:11 flat at the tune of 323. And last but not least, I'm just going to look for it because it's easier. It's going to be the Nissan Micra, being the best car for RQ19 with a time of 1:11.05. So that is saying that the best car for RQ19 is not able to beat the best car for RQ18, but we need to remember that not every car for RQ19 and 18 have been documented for the Ocean Beach Slalom. So there are some illegal immigrants in there somehow, if you will. I don't know, I feel like that was just a really poor joke. Anyway, moving on to uncommons. We're going to start off with RQ20 again. Very sus. I think I've already filtered by uncommon, performance, and standard. I'm going to take away that performance and standard. I'll make it even faster for all of us because I don't want to spend too much time going through this rarity when we don't even know if these are actually the best cars. We can say that these are the better cars though. RQ20 is the Mercury Milan, coming in at a time of 1 minute 9 seconds 75 centiseconds at 323. RQ21 goes to the Geostorm, if I can find it. Where is the Geostorm? There it is. 10 seconds 0 to 60 and 22 handling. It comes in a time of 1:09.70. RQ22 goes to the Mito, the Alfa Romeo Mito, at 74 handling and 11.7 seconds of a 0 to 60. It has a time of a 1 minute 9 seconds and 35 centiseconds. Now, moving on to RQ23 is a car that I feel like is actually the genuine best 23 contender, and that is the Suzuki Kera. The Suzuki Kera has a time of 1 minute 8 seconds and 70 centiseconds. Once again, I was using milliseconds in the last video, but someone pointed out that I mean centiseconds, so I never heard of that in my life though, so that's pretty interesting. Moving on to RQ24 is the Subaru Legacy, 4-wheel drive and standard tires. As you can see, there isn't much of a correlation of what wins. Sometimes it's a 4-wheel drive standard, sometimes it's a front-wheel drive standard, sometimes it's a rear-wheel drive standard. Ocean Beach Slalom truly is in the name, isn't it? RQ25 is the new Beetle, being the best car. So let's see if I can look for that as well. New Beetle, there it is. So congratulations to a Volkswagen for actually winning that. Again, take all of this with a grain of salt. There are some of these RQ25s, they don't even have their times documented. I can't say that enough. Now, moving on to RQ26, the best car belongs to a Hyundai. I'm just going to scroll through it. There it is, the Hyundai Ioniq Electric with a time of 1:07.90. RQ27 is a tie between a Nissan Juke and a Pontiac Fiero. So the Nissan Juke right here at 10.3 0 to 60 and 75 handling, and the Pontiac Fiero with 11.2 and 76. They both tie with a time of 1 minute 7 seconds and 86. Now moving on to RQ28, another 4-wheel drive standard, is going to go to the Honda SMX 4-wheel drive. And last but not least, the best car for RQ29 and the best car for uncommons that are documented is the AutoZam AZ1, coming in with a time of 1:06.95. The best uncommon so far of all times documented in Top Drives records for the Ocean Beach Slalom Wet. Now, let's move on to rares. When we move on to rares, it's a little less stressful. Most of the cars have been documented on the website, so this is going to be a little bit more accurate. RQ30, the best one is the Subaru Impreza, 4-wheel drive center tires with a time of 1:06.75. RQ31, this one was actually pretty interesting, but there were almost every RQ31 car listed on that website, and it goes to a Ford Focus bioethanol. 1:06.93 is the time, even beats that Subaru that has 4-wheel drive and standard tires, so that's pretty cool to know, because that's a car that I've never collected and I don't want to collect because I'm not a fan of electric cars. Now, moving on to RQ32, the best car goes to a Chevrolet Orlando LTZ. Yeah, 106.63 is the time. 33 is going to go to a Renault four-wheel drive and standard tires. You see, there's a weird balance between four-wheel drive standard and just front-wheel drive or mono drive standard. This one has no handling whatsoever, but it is the best among the 33s, and it is going to be the best. It's going to be better than the best of the 34s as well. Now, this is a time of 105.95, which is almost half a second faster than the best of 34. Coming in with a time of 106.53 is the Alfa Giulietta. So we're going all the way to the top because we're looking for the A's. And where is it? Alfa, there it is. The Alfa Romeo Giulietta, 9076. 35, we return to four-wheel drive standard. It's a Legacy Outback with 105.61 as the time. And RQ36. Now, this is the car to remember because the best documented car on Top Drives records for Ocean Beach Slalom, the best 36 at least, is also the best rare in the entire game, is the Cadillac Escalade, four-wheel drive and standard. So it looks like Ocean Beach Slalom, from what I can gather from the rares and all the winners we've seen so far, is that your drivetrain matters. But handling doesn't matter too much. It's more favored towards that 0 to 60 on that sand sprint at the end, maybe. But yeah, the Escalade is the best with a time of 105.08. It is the best rare for the Ocean Beach Slalom, at least until the point of this recording and this video. It's better than everything in 37, 38, and 39 that has been recorded thus far. So yeah, you can stop right there if you want. The Escalade is the best for the rares, but the best for 37, not necessarily the best for the rares, is a Suzuki X90. RQ38, the best for that is going to go to a BMW i3, and last but not least, the best for 39 is going to go to a Mazda 3 Sport. There it is with a time of 105.56, only 6 centiseconds slower than the Cadillac Escalade at RQ36. So that was pretty interesting to see. Now, moving on to Super Air. So we're going to start with RQ40. The best Super Air RQ40 for the Ocean Beach Slalom is the Jaguar E-Pace, four-wheel drive and standard tires with a time of 104.48. It is better than the best of 41. Now, the best of 41 is going to raise a lot of eyebrows. It definitely raised my eyebrows as well. This car, you're telling me, is better than a Mazda 3 2.2, a Lincoln Nautilus, a Hyundai Grandeur, whatever. But yeah, it's the Ford Super Duty F350. Like I said, it's not as good as the E-Pace, but among all the documented 41s, this was the best one. Next up, the next car, best car for 42, is going to be the best car for 42, 43, and 44, with a time of 103.81. Now, this one comes with no surprise. It's the Nissan Stegia. This thing was absolutely fantastic when it came out in JPT, and yeah, it remains really useful until today. RQ43, again, just came in as a shocker. I mean, when you have a super, confusing track set like this one, it is going to bring a lot of shockers. The Dodge Durango GT is the best car, 104.31. Again, loses to the Stegia, but amongst 43s, it is the best. Moving on to RQ44, we're staying with the Americans. Well, actually, I think this is, yeah, the Americans. I don't know if Hutch changed that to Japan or not. As the Acura RDX, with a time of 103.91. Moving on to RQ45, we're actually staying with American-made cars too, is the Ford Fairlane. This remains the best car for 45 and 46. This is a time of 102.96, beating out the best of 46, which again is an American car. Only now I'm having an epiphany of how many American winners we have over here. The Cadillac Escalade, 323, coming in with a time of 103.19. Now, I've not talked about upgrade patterns that much in this video, but literally every car besides the Pontiac Tempest has been 323. Moving on to RQ47, the best car is the Ford Explorer Sport Track Adrenaline. This is the second best Ocean Beach Slalom Super Air with a time of 102.23, and it beats the best of 48, which is the Japanese Mazda CX-75 2.5 with a time of 102.68. But the best Super Air in the entire game for Ocean Beach Slalom is the Hyundai Tucson 1.6 T GDI Hybrid, coming in with a time of 102.21, only 2 centiseconds faster than the Ford at RQ47. So if you want to win the Ocean Beach Slalom, Slalom and you can only use super rares, this is the car that I would recommend. 7.6 of a 0 to 60, 72 handling, 4-wheel drive, and standard tires. Now, moving on to ultra rares and above, we're going to start off where we can finally see a little bit of a pattern. From ultra rares and above, most of the winners for Ocean Beach Slalom are going to be equipped with all surface tires. No more of that standard stuff. And the commons even had some performance tire stuff. Yeah, that's not happening anymore. I'm pretty sure almost every single car here is going to have all surface besides, I think, 51. So the winner for 50 is the Chrysler Aspen Hybrid with a time of 1:02:13. Winner for 51, though, is the Ford Flex. Again, 4-wheel drive and standard tires. And I think that should be the last of the standard tires. Everything else is going to be all surface from here on. So 52 is next, and that is the AMG G63 at 332. It ties with 323. They both will have the same time on the Ocean Beach Slalom Wet of 101 and 71. Moving on to RQ53, that's going to go to Nissan, the Pathfinder. RQ54 is going to go to Mitsubishi with the Outlander. RQ55 is going to go to Ford with the Expedition Platinum. All these cars just getting slightly better times over the other. 56, it's really funny. You're seeing a lot of unconventional winners over here. GMC Yukon again at 323 with a time of 1 minute and 61 centiseconds. The GMC Yukon is the best for that. Now, RQ57, another car that you don't really see being the best of anything, is the Holden Adventura. So I think we'll look at all the winners together in one big wish list to see if we can find any patterns. Here we go. RQ58 is a Suzuki Kazashi. So yeah, this is the best standard tire car. The best standard tire, I guess, Ocean Beach Slalom car. I think everything else truly is all surface tires. So yeah, if you are an all surface tire RQ58, cover yourself in shame because the Kazashi is better than you. Definitely better than the Cayenne Diesel. I don't know if the times of the V90 and V60 have been documented though in Top Drive's records, because obviously Ocean Beach Slalom is a pretty rare track set. Like, I mean, it's pretty rare as in like it's not in the campaign, so people can't test it as often. So I wonder if people have been putting in the times with the Volvo. Anyway, moving on to RQ59 is the Range or a Land Rover 5.0 V8. And this one's actually a 233. The 233 beats the 323 at a time of 1 minute and 1 centisecond. Moving on to RQ60, the best car is the campaign Chevrolet Trailblazer SS 61. Now this one's gonna come to you as a little bit of a shock. The best car for 61, Ford Explorer, is also the best ultra rare for the Ocean Beach Slalom Wet. So anything that 62, 63, and 64 can provide, they will all lose to the Ford Explorer. I think the Explorer is just the best I guess hybrid car and the best combination of a low 0 to 60 and good enough handling. So yeah, that's the best one of a time of 59 seconds and 74 centiseconds. 62, the best is going to go to again another standard tire car, actually the Chrysler 300 Glacier, so about 3 of those. 63 is going to go to the Skoda Kodiaq at a time of 59.88, so still slower than the Ford. And last but not least, the best of 64, all surface tires couldn't do much. The Honda Legend was the best actually, with a time of 1 minute and 13 seconds. So out of about 20 RQ, right? Or was it 20? About 14 RQs within that ultra range. 4 of them belong to 4-wheel drive standard tire cars: the Honda Legend, the Kazashi, the Glacier, as well as the Ford Flex. Now, moving on to epics and above. I think for this one is all surface tires. I don't think that there are any other standard tires winning this one. So 65 is the BMW X7. Again, a lot of unconventional cars, but if you want to rule basically RQ65 and below, you could max out a BMW X7 M50D, has a time of 58.96. Moving on to RQ66, way better, much more, I guess, of an RQ saver because it's a way lower time. The BMW iX X-Drive has of a time of 57.99, but it's not as good as the best car of RQ67, which belongs to another electric car, and it's the Mazda Mach-E, which I've already overshot. There it is, the Mazda Mach-E, not the Mazda, sorry, the Mustang Mach-E with a time of 57.73. Now, this car at RQ67 will remain the best car for the Ocean Beach Slalom Wet, all the way up to RQ72. 72. So that's a pretty big jump, which means that every car you see from 67 to 72, the Mustang Mach-E is actually going to be a better car in terms of documented times. RQ68, the best one goes to the Acura MDX. RQ69 goes to the Bentley Bentayga Diesel. RQ70 goes to the Jaguar F-Pace, again all at 323. RQ71 goes to the AMG G63, and RQ72. Now, if you search for the best RQ72 car, they will tell you it is the TRX, you know, the off-road tire TRX, and to that I call bullshit. I think that the best car is most likely going to be the Porsche Cayenne Coupe. Unfortunately, the time for the Cayenne Coupe has not been documented on the website, but I think it's fair to assume that this is going to be an off-road tire car. Moving on to RQ73, it's going to be a price car. It's actually going to be the Infiniti FX Vital Edition. 74, this is an interesting one. It's going to go to the Mercedes AMG GLS. I'm using my own intuition about this one. On the website, TDR says that the Macan is the best, but I have a feeling that that is not going to be the case. It's just that there's no time for the GLS 63. I believe that if you have the GLS 63, it's going to be better than the Macan on the Ocean Beach Slalom, because the Ocean Beach Slalom tends to favor a lower 0 to 60, and it doesn't really rely on handling that much. That's not to say that you shouldn't have any handling, but it doesn't rely on it that much as a G-Force or Slalom would do. Now, we're going to have a blitz of Audis. RQ75 is the Audi SQ5 TDI. RQ76 is the Audi SQ7 TDI. RQ77, we're taking a break, is the Mercedes ML63. RQ78, we're also taking a break from the Audis, is going to be the BMW X2. And last but not least, the best car for epics, and below, the best epic for the Ocean Beach Slalom Wet, as far as things are recorded, goes to the Audi SQ8 TDI with a time of 56:04. Now, like I said, rares to epics, not as messy. Like, you can say that the winners are pretty accurate. When we get from legendaries and onwards, it's gonna get really messy. So I'm gonna put in off-road tire cars as well, and let us begin with the mess, shall we? So we're gonna start off with RQ80. According to the website, Opel Kadett is the best. That is probably going to change if people add it more times. RQ81 is gonna go to the Lancia HF Integrale. Again, please take this with a lot of salt. Off-road tires should not be winning Ocean Beach Slalom in the wet. 82 goes to the Cayenne GTS. Now, if the winner's an all-surface tire car, then yeah, I'll think it's pretty accurate. RQ83 though is a Lancer WRC 04, and I'm pretty sure that's only because like people are not putting in times for cars like the AMG GLE, which I think are going to be better than the Lancer WRC 04, but I guess we wouldn't know. Now again, all these times are going to be at 111 because not a lot of people have fully upgraded low-end legendaries on a track set that doesn't even show up in the campaign. Like, no one's actually going to go the extra mile and put that time in TDR, let's be honest. I wouldn't do it myself. RQ85, that's going to be 84 is the Macan GTS. 85 is the X5M, 86 is the X6M, 87 is the Cayenne Turbo S, 88 is the BMW 545e, because there are no RQ88 all-surface tire cars, as you can see. RQ89 is the Macan Turbo Performance Pack. RQ90 is the Macan GTS. All these times are getting better and better for the all-surface tire cars. RQ91, I mean, was the Peugeot 205. This is where, like, I don't know if we need to look at the times anymore. Durango, best 92. We skip RQs here and there, maybe. 93 is a Cayenne Turbo. That is a fact, though. I did look up on TDR. This is better than this. So, at least we know that. The Alfa Stelvio Quadrifoglio is the best for 94, as it's the only one. And it kind of just goes to, like, you know, just a purgatory. Best for 97 is Urus. 99 is Cayenne Turbo GT. And the best car in the game for this track set is undoubtedly the Hyundai Genesis PM580. How good, you ask? A 111 Hyundai has a time of 53:14. A 111 Hyundai Genesis PM580 is better on the Ocean Beach Slalom Wet than a fully upgraded Suzuki XL7, which is, oh my goodness, that is domination. That car is good. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today. It's a very messy track set, this one. It is a very messy track set. I tried my best to try and crack the code on this. It looks like usually the best car for this track set is going to be an all-surface tire car. Sometimes, though, it's a four-wheel drive standard tire car. But it's most likely an all-surface tire car with a low 0 to 60, and surprisingly is American. If anything from this video that I would take away, just remember the best cars. So, like the Hyundai or the Audi the Ford Explorer, which came as a bit of a surprise. And I think the best super rare was the Hyundai Tucson, the best rare was the Cadillac Escalade, the best uncommon was the AutoZam, and the best common is the MG MGB. So if I can remember all of that, so can you. But anyway guys, that's gonna be it for today. Hope this video was informative. I hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly, got it, jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly, got it, jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville Pontiac. Hold tight all night, cruise to Jacksonville.